In the fourth episode of Dexter, Resurrection, Dexter shows a great deal of interest in Mia. He questions whether she follows a similar code, and it turns out that she just eliminates predators, much like Dexter eliminates killers. In just one episode, they developed a strong bond that may eventually lead to them cooperating to kill another murderer who matches both of their target descriptions. Dexter and Mia's shared trait of becoming vigilante killers may drive the remaining events in Dexter, Resurrection Season 1. It would be a novel and thrilling twist to have Ritter and Dexter emerge as a type of Bonnie and Clyde duo, given her popularity in the lead role in popular series like Jessica Jones.Since Mia is already a seasoned and well-established serial murderer with years of experience. Dexter wouldn't need to try to correct her faults or teach her anything like he did with his previous companions. She would probably not be killing outside the code like partners like Miguel Prado notoriously did in Dexter Season 3, as we only know that she's a vigilante killer. However, it's possible that Mia is not who her reputation implies. Dexter might be getting ahead of himself by believing that Mia is genuinely morally upright, just to find out later that she is ultimately unstable and could be his target. With the exception of Lumen, Dexter's previous relationships with murderous co-conspirators have always ended badly in the original series. However, Lumen simply departed once the Barrel Girl gang was slaughtered. They may not have been on horrible terms, but Dexter truly liked her, so her departure left him feeling empty. Mia's time on Dexter, Resurrection Season the first of may be coming to an end, given how short some of the other guest actors' stints have been. Otherwise, viewers might be in for a completely new Dexter Morgan sidekick and romantic interest. In Call Me Red, the fourth episode of Resurrection, Dexter poses as a serial killer who has gained notoriety as the dark passenger in New York City media. This gives him entry to Leon Prater's covert serial killer club, where he can see rare souvenirs of mass murderers, such as Dexter's iconic blood slides from the first series. However, it is thought that the Bay Harbor Butcher, SGT, James Dokes, is responsible for Dexter's trophies, which were allegedly given to him by an FBI agent who had a gambling problem. In Resurrection Episode 4, Dexter ultimately takes on the name Bay Harbor Butcher, and finally gets to see his favorite blood slides again. Of the three spin-off series currently in development, Dexter, Resurrection has been the most Dexter-like. Dexter feels like the first real continuation of Dexter since Season 8 was released in 2013, whereas New Blood seemed like the biggest departure from the tone of the original series, and Original Sin relied on early season nostalgia. In Resurrection, Dexter's reunion with blood slides makes it seem as though the old Dexter Morgan is returning. Additionally, he has resumed employing blood slide trophies, as seen by his murder of Lowell, also known as the Tattoo Collector, played by Neil Patrick Harris. Furthermore, he reverts to his former methods of delivering amusing one-liners when he speaks to Harry in his fantasy. All of this makes Dexter Morgan feel far more like the original Dexter in Resurrection than he did in New Blood. After being separated from his cherished blood slides for so long, Dexter might not be able to fight the urge to part with them. He will continue to use the alias of Ronald Red Schmidt at least for the foreseeable future. According to all indications following Resurrection Episode 4, it should be mentioned that Prater showed Dexter how to open the vault containing his blood slides. Uma Thurman's Charlie will emerge flaming after even one unsuccessful attempt to enter the correct code for admittance. Dexter would have to defeat not just Prater, but also the fearsome Charlie if he wanted to regain access to his slides in Dexter, Resurrection. Unfortunately, I believe that by making the identical mistakes that lead to the deaths of Dokes, Eric King, and Maria, Luna Lauren Velez, Angel Batista, David Zayas, may have just sealed his doom in Dexter, Resurrection. Of the returning Dexter characters in Resurrection, Angel Batista is easily the most prominent. Almost everyone loves Batista, therefore it was a great addition to Resurrection to have him in it. Batista is an amazing character, from Le Pagine to his lengthy relationship with Dexter, Michael C. Hall. In Resurrection, he is also looking into Dexter's role as the Bay Harbor Butcher, which greatly heightens the dramatic tension in the follow-up series. Resurrection Episode the 4th of May have laid the foundation for Batista's tragic demise, which is why it is so terrible. Despite his suspicions that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher in Resurrection, Batista kept them a secret from Quinn and Masuka. James Dokes and Maria LaGuerta both committed the same error by keeping their investigation into Dexter a secret. Though it wasn't nearly public enough to keep her alive, Maria told Angel in private. Investigating Dexter alone has the drawback of making it very simple to hide any suspicions. Interestingly, neither Dokes nor Maria's deaths were caused by Dexter, hence their investigations perished along with them. A blood slide in Maria's case and testimony from Angela Bishop were the only new pieces of evidence that led to both Maria and Angel taking up Doak's initial investigation years later. Batista exposes himself to having the investigation ended by his death by keeping the fact that he is hunting Dexter a secret from those who should know. He did notify Claudette and the NYPD, but they aren't as invested in finding Dexter in the event that Batista dies. By just killing Batista, Dexter or Harrison may relieve the majority of the heat they're experiencing. However, Batista's passing isn't entirely ruled out. Batista's passing can be used by Resurrection to end the previous phase of Dexter's life and concentrate solely on his time in New York. He won't simply let this go, even if he can't prove Dexter is the Bay Harbor butcher. Thus killing Batista is really the only way to get him off Dexter's trail. However, if I were to venture a bet, I would think that Batista will survive Resurrection. If anything, Dexter, Resurrection's upcoming seasons would benefit from his continued presence as a recurring enemy. As a tough investigator who is always breathing down Dexter's neck and putting tension in the show, Batista could basically take over as the new Dokes, waiting for him to make a mistake.